Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you are watching this video first time, subscribe my channel to see my upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equities indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end. To understand this thoroughly to take your decision, your one like will motivate me to be regular in working more hard for you. Let us start the day to analyze the movements of natural gas futures in my chart pattern, which I prepared for mapping the movements of natural gas futures during the year 2019. So this is the chart which I prepared, and here in this chart, as you can see that after crossing this topmost uptrend zone, natural gas futures found sharp bouts of selling from the levels of $4.928. So friends, this was the last topmost point where we witnessed the natural gas futures to move upward. No doubt that the natural gas futures once again may move up to these levels back, because we are going to see a huge volatility during the upcoming week, or I will say it will likely to continue till mid-February 2019. And now you will ask that why this volatility will occur, or why this volatility going to return in February. So friends, you know that we have already discounted the current growing export of liquefied natural gas out of US towards the European countries, which will soon resolve the oversupply issue of natural gas. Europe is one of the topmost buyer of US liquefied natural gas after a near 5-fold spike in US LNG's profit. Then politics is driving this increase despite pressure from the US President Mr. Donald Trump for Europe to wean itself off Russian gas. The industry is undergoing buoyed by demand from China, where the government is pushing to cut carbon emission partially by swapping from coal-generated power to gas. Traders had expected Chinese demand to soar again this winter, but Beijing had bought cargoes well in advance, and so far a mild winter has kept stock high. A 10% tariff imposed by Beijing on US LNG imports during a trade war also hurt. Sellers of US LNG have pivoted to Europe, where pipelines gas from Russia dominates. I find that growing export will negate the oversupply issue in US natural gas, which may result in more withdrawals announcement during the upcoming week. I think even the withdrawal may be much more than the announcement levels this week. So this withdrawal may be up to 200 billion cubic feet during the upcoming week. Next week, we will find when the extreme cold invades and drives the heating demand substantially higher. Now let us focus on the current movement of natural gas futures in different time frames with my latest constructed chart pattern. So here I would like to show you that how the natural gas futures price witnessed a gap down on 28th December 2018. Here, when we found a gap down on the opening of natural gas futures on the first trading session of the week of December 31st 2018. Since then, the natural gas futures were trying, or they were consolidating at this major support level, I will say, at the level of $2.903. After a consolidation of few trading sessions, let us count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So after consolidating after 8 trading sessions, we found a sharp upward move when the natural gas futures tried to cross this 200 days moving average but could not, where we found a sharp selling bout on 11th January 2019. But the natural gas futures could not restrain at this point because they had to fill this gap down. So we filled this gap down by a gap up in natural gas futures on January 13, 2019. We witnessed an equal gap up to fill this down gap, and since then we were trading in this higher trading zone, which have constructed this one. So when we tried to enter the second upper trading zone, we found a lot of selling was there on January 15, 2018. Since then, the natural gas futures witnessed a bouts of selling till January 23rd. Here you can see that after a bounce back on January 17th, we witnessed a gap down on January 22nd. So I find that since then, after a steep fall up to the level of $2.962, we witnessed a good buying from these levels in natural gas futures. Here in a daily chart, you can see that on January 24th, we witnessed a good buying in natural gas futures, and today we are trying to cross this upper edge of this trading zone, and I find that the formation of this bullish hammer is evident enough to bring the natural gas futures above 200 days moving average in a daily chart, because currently the 20 days exponential moving average is still above the 20 days moving average, and I find that once we find before the today's closing, if we find this formation is being completed, it means if the natural gas future prices close above the level of $3.204, we will find a good gap up opening to fill this gap, and our next gap may be at the level of $3.439 during the upcoming week, due to the expectation of more colder weather than the normal one. We will find when the heating demand for natural gas will be enhanced all of a sudden. So friends, I find that the natural gas futures may witness a series of gap ups during the upcoming week. So I will conduct a study on the gaps in my next upcoming videos. Now let us see the movements of the natural gas futures in my net gas sentiments meter, which I have recently constructed to map the sentiments of masses which drive the natural gas futures in a particular direction at particular time from a particular level. So here you can see that despite the presence of natural gas futures in a bearish sentiment zone, natural gas futures are trying to break this bearish sentiment zone, and I find that soon we will see the natural gas futures to enter inside this decisive sentiment zone today or by the opening session of the upcoming week on January 27 with a gap up. Now let us analyze the movement of natural gas futures in a 15-minute chart to define that where the natural gas futures may see an opening on the upcoming week. So friends, this is my mapping strategy which is currently under trial. So I will say that don't rely upon this, because this strategy is still under trial phase, where I am conducting a study to map the upcoming gaps. So here you can see that after touching the levels of $3.046 during the today's session, we have seen that the natural gas futures are continuously moving upward after a small gap here, and here you can see that the natural gas futures are continuously moving upward after facing a little bit of selling from the level of $3.192. Natural gas futures are currently trading at the level of $3.162, which makes it evident enough to remain steady from the current levels, because in the 15-minute chart here you can see that the natural gas futures have come upward above the 200 days moving average, and the 20 days moving average is moving upward and sustaining above the 20 days moving average. So 20 days exponential moving average and 20 days moving average both are trying to move in upward direction, which will bring the price in upper direction. So I find that the current of the natural gas futures is still bullish, and I find that the bullish uptrend is likely to continue during the upcoming weeks. So friends, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends, because more subscribers will encourage me to make my analysis on regular basis, especially on natural gas and crude oil futures. So friends, thank you once again, and don't forget to subscribe this channel. Thank you.